Our bodies send us warnings long before things get serious. That includes our brains. We all joke about walking into a room and forgetting why we went there, or spending 5 minutes looking for glasses that are sitting on our head. That alone is not cause for panic. But there is a real difference between normal aging and behavioral shifts that could signal something more. The key is learning to tell them apart and paying attention early without spiraling into fear. Cognitive decline rarely shows up overnight. It tends to reveal itself through tiny, almost unnoticeable changes in everyday behavior. And because most of us are busy managing work, family, and the general chaos of life, it is easy to brush those changes aside. This is exactly why awareness matters so much. Number 1. Changes in financial judgment. One of the earliest red flags that experts consistently point to is a change in how someone handles money. This does not mean forgetting to pay one bill. It means a repeating pattern, missing payments over and over, making unusual or impulsive purchases that feel out of character, falling for scams more easily than before, or suddenly struggling to follow a budget that has been managed without any trouble for years. Financial decision-making relies heavily on executive function, which is one of the first cognitive areas to show signs of decline. If you have always been on top of your finances and start feeling confused by bank statements or basic transactions, that shift is worth paying attention to. Nashtar 2. Increased apathy or withdrawal. Everyone goes through seasons of fatigue or stress where they pull back a little. That is normal. What is worth noting is a sustained, noticeable loss of interest in things that once brought genuine joy. Watch for withdrawing from social events, losing enthusiasm for hobbies you have loved for years, avoiding conversations, or showing less emotional response than usual. If you were once the person who organized get-togethers or always reached out to friends first, and now you simply do not care anymore, that change matters. Social engagement is essentially fuel for the brain. When it drops off significantly without an obvious reason, it deserves a closer look. Number 3. Trouble following conversations. This one gets dismissed as distraction more often than it should. There's a meaningful difference between occasionally zoning out and consistently losing the thread of a conversation. The signs to watch for include frequently asking people to repeat themselves, not because of a hearing issue, but because the information is not being processed, losing track of what someone just said in a familiar setting, or struggling to follow instructions that have multiple steps. When this happens regularly, especially with people you know well and in comfortable environments, it is worth taking seriously. Number 4. Subtle personality changes. This is one of the hardest signs to catch in ourselves. More often than not, family members or close friends are the ones who notice something has shifted first. Personality changes connected to early cognitive decline can look like increased irritability, unusual suspicion or paranoia, reduced empathy toward others, or a loss of impulse control. If someone who has always been patient and steady starts becoming uncharacteristically short-tempered, or if a naturally generous person becomes guarded and defensive without any clear reason, those shifts reflect real changes in how the brain is functioning and are worth discussing openly. Number 5. Difficulty with familiar tasks. This goes well beyond struggling to figure out a new phone or app. The real warning sign here is confusion around tasks you have done automatically for years. Examples include trouble following a recipe you have made dozens of times, difficulty operating appliances you use every single day, or getting disoriented on a driving route you have taken for years. These are not signs of a bad day. They suggest a shift in executive function, which neurologists consider one of the earliest and most reliable markers of cognitive decline. Number 6. Over-relying on memory aids for basic routines. Using lists, reminders, and planners is smart. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The concern is different. It is when someone starts needing detailed, written notes just to get through tasks they have done on autopilot for decades. When appointments are forgotten even after multiple reminders are set, or when the same questions are asked again and again within a short span of time. That pattern goes beyond being busy or overwhelmed. It suggests the brain is struggling to encode and retrieve information the way it once did. Number 7. Changes in language pay close attention to frequent difficulty finding the right word, regularly substituting the wrong word without realizing it, or trailing off mid-sentence because the thought has simply disappeared. Everyone searches for a word now and then. That is normal. What is not normal is when this becomes a consistent, recurring pattern that disrupts everyday communication. Persistent language disruption can signal changes happening in the brain's memory and language networks. Why this matters more than you might think. Women represent nearly 2/3 of all Alzheimer's cases in the United States. Hormonal changes during perimenopause and menopause can temporarily affect memory, focus, and mood, and estrogen plays a direct role in brain health. This creates a tricky overlap where some midlife forgetfulness is hormone-related and will stabilize on its own, while other changes are signs of something that will gradually worsen. The difference is in the progression. Tracking patterns over time, rather than panicking over a single moment of forgetfulness, is the most useful approach. Risk factors. You can actually do something about genetics matter, but lifestyle carries enormous weight. Risk factors for cognitive decline include a sedentary lifestyle, poor sleep, chronic stress, high blood pressure, smoking, social isolation, and untreated depression. The encouraging truth is that most of these are modifiable. The choices made today have a real and direct impact on brain health years from now. How to protect your brain. Starting today, regular physical exercise increases blood flow to the brain and stimulates the production of a protein that supports neuron health. Strength training 2 to 3 times a week, daily brisk walking, and balance work all contribute meaningfully. Even 20 minutes of movement a day makes a measurable difference. Sleep is when the brain clears out metabolic waste, including proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease. Aiming for 7 to 9 hours, keeping consistent sleep and wake times, and actually addressing sleep problems rather than pushing through them is essential, not optional. Strong social connections challenge the brain in ways that solitary activities simply cannot replicate. Group activities, volunteering, classes, or regular time spent with friends are not just enjoyable, they are a genuine brain health strategy. Nutrition plays a direct role as well. Prioritizing leafy greens, berries, fatty fish, nuts, olive oil, and adequate protein supports cognitive function. Limiting ultra-processed foods and excess sugar helps protect the brain from the stress of blood sugar spikes. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which over time can actually shrink the hippocampus, the brain's primary memory center. Managing stress through breathwork, meditation, time outdoors, or journaling is not a luxury, it is protection. Finally, keep learning. The brain thrives on novelty. Picking up a new language, learning an instrument, exploring a different genre of books, or changing up a workout routine all create new neural pathways and keep the brain sharp. When to talk to a doctor. If changes are persistent, getting worse over time, interfering with daily life, or worrying the people closest to you, schedule a conversation with your doctor. Some cognitive issues are completely reversible when caught early, particularly those linked to vitamin deficiencies, thyroid problems, medication side effects, or sleep disorders. Paying attention and speaking up is not overreacting. It is the responsible thing